Alrighty. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool. Let's do it.
Rock and roll.
So, what's up, guys? I am Mark.
I am Tim.
And welcome to the first
Ladies.
episode of Around the Last Turn. Now, if you saw our fireside chat video, we talked about wanting to do something like this.
Yeah, it's actually something I've been getting into podcasts recently, and that kind of inspired it. And I was like, just making films, while I love doing it, is not the right way to build community necessarily.
Sure.
And because we're not the most active social media people, either of us.
Yeah.
I figured this would be a good way to, sit down and talk to our fans and get their feedback and, maybe have them learn a little bit more about us and watch us as we grow, hopefully.
Oh, we can hope. We can certainly hope. So this is totally unscripted. We didn't even really kind of talk about, we kind of talked a little bit about like.
I have a few notes.
Yeah, but we didn't even review them. So
no, we definitely did not.
We're going off the cuff and off the cup, and we're gonna see how it goes. So
that could be a drinking game.
It's Saturday. What's going on with you, Tim? What are you doing? What are you up to?
What am I up to? Well, I mean the only major thing in my life right now is I don't know if you know this, Mark, but I'm kind of fat.
I hadn't noticed.
Okay. So I've been doing this really, really hardcore diet, which fucking sucks, but it's working.
That's good.
So that's kind of all I can think about now, because if I do anything else, then I will have lost focus. But other than that, been playing video games, man.
Nice.
Gotta
love those.
Yeah. How about you? What's going on?
I'm tired.
What's up?
I am tired right now, because as you know, as you don't, I got a new car this morning.
It's very exciting.
Yeah,
Tell us about it, Mark.
I leased a new 2018 CRV. I'm very excited. Unfortunately, I did get into an accident. It wasn't my fault a couple weeks ago. Car got totaled. But yeah, I went super early this morning, went to the dealership. I already had a car picked out. Got the lease taken care of. And
nice.
now I'm sitting pretty in a new 2018 CRV. So,
yeah.
Honda, sponsor us.
I took a look at it. Honda, not a sponsor. Yeah. I took a look at it earlier. It's a beautiful car.
It's got a lot of space for film equipment.
Jealous.
Maybe a little something there.
We could shoot on more locations instead of just showing them our house every time.
Ooh. Well, actually, that reminds me, because we did just shoot.
Yeah.
Heaven Inc.
Yeah.
It's getting good. It's getting good reception thus far. But
True.
that was our first film
On
not
location.
shot in our house.
True. The location was great. It was actually a school office. I don't know if I can legally say the school, so I won't.
That's fine.
Really worked out well. It was like a Saturday. Sunday. We were able to get in there. Nobody was there, except my mom. She helped. She actually did we credit her?
Oh, we totally did.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
She's in the.
She helped us do boom operating.
She
a few
sure
times.
did. And killed it. Did a fantastic. That audio is crisp.
Yeah, let's talk about last year's films. I did want to have this be kind of a recap of our films.
Yeah, let's do it.
Which I think it was your vision as well.
Well, I think. So I'm curious because you directed.
Yeah.
Heaven Inc., the Genesis review. You wrote it. So I think you have a lot of kind of like information that I want to know. And you guys might want to know. So let's focus on directing first.
Sure.
So that was your first experience directing.
Yes.
What was that like?
I mean, I did not. It was fine. I felt comfortable pretty much the whole time. I wasn't nervous or anything going in. That's probably because we had a small crew. It was not a lot of scene changes. It was not a lot of crazy shots. It was mostly just, stationary. We also had our good friend Arthur, who was director of photography on it. And
Thank you, Arthur.
Yeah, big shout out.
Fantastic job.
And he was great. So I guess I should preface a little bit of history there. Mark and I went to college together. And Mark was a film major. I was not. So I have always loved movies. Like I bullshitted around as a young kid with camcorders and doing whatever. Yeah. But I didn't get any formal training, whereas Mark does have it. That's weird. Should I be talking about you in the second, third person like that? Mark, you do have it?
I do. I mean, I guess it's fine. You can say you, because we're having a conversation here.
Right. I was trying to include everyone, be inclusive, give them a story,
Yeah. So I don't know. It's torn. I'm torn.
I'm rip torn. Whatever happened to him?
I don't
know. I've only
know.
seen him in Men in Black, actually.
If you are rip torn, let us know what happened to you.
What have you been up to?
No, so it's true. I mean, Tim mentioned that I went to film school. That is what it is. I'm still learning. We're all learning.
True.
Like, that's why we're doing this. Because when we first decided that we want to make films, I don't know everything. I barely scratched the surface of knowing everything there is to know about film. This is an opportunity for you to learn new things, to have fun, of course, and for me to keep learning and improving on my skills. But, so going back to Heaven Inc.,
sorry.
you mentioned, you mentioned, it was a fairly simple shoot, for what it's worth. I think you did a phenomenal job.
Thanks.
None of it, me, Tim, Alex, we're not actors.
No.
We try our best. We don't do too bad, but we're not like professional actors by any stretch of the imagination. So, I guess my first question is so you don't have any experience directing actual actors, but like giving direction to people who may not be as experienced as receiving direction, what was that like?
That I actually did not feel confident in, because I knew what I wanted out of it. Having never directed anything, I didn't know. I didn't know how to get it out of people, and I think part of the problem there was, it was my friends that I was directing.
That's tough.
And I didn't want to be. I feel like in like a real situation, I might be kind of a dick. Like I'd be like, "No, you're fucking wrong. Do this."
Right.
And I didn't want to do that to my friends because you're my friends, and we're all doing this together, and no one's getting paid yet. Honda. So that actually I did find a little tough, and I think that there are a few things that I could have maybe taken it slower. I also didn't want us to go over.
That's true.
Time-wise, we only had it for a certain period of time, so I was trying to get everything in. And so as the day went on, I definitely got a little more lax in saying, "Hey, it's fine. Let's just go."
That's true.
And I think, in hindsight, that was the kind of short that needed a lot more slow direction. Do it again until we get this right. Maybe not Kubrickian, but a little more. Just because it's subtle, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be overt. The comedy wasn't like, here's a joke, here's here's like a funny thing that just happened.
Right.
It's more subtle. The comedy's in how awkward everything is, and how. At least I think the comedy's in how awkward everything is, and how this is just like a normal office. How mundane, an omniscient being's office is.
Yeah.
Was what I wanted to go for.
And I think that came across pretty well. Personally, it's hard. I've always found it hard to kind of separate myself and look at what we've done objectively.
Yeah, I can't.
Because we're so close to it. I mean, you especially directed it and you wrote it, but, in the editing room, you and I both spent hours just staring at the screen, watching takes over and over again. I mean, that's just how I edit. It's how a lot of people edit. You mentioned the time restraint. So we had, there were a few challenges on this shoot.
Yeah.
The first being when someone forgot a certain tripod plate. It may have been me. It may not have been me. I mean, who can say? Who can say? No, it was totally my fault. So, you and Arthur had discussed a whole shot list.
Yeah, we had. It wasn't perfectly shot listed, but it was pretty we had our angles, we had our shots. It was she was shot listed. Yeah.
And then at the last second, couldn't use the tripod, couldn't use our slider. That all went out the window because of one piece of equipment. We suddenly had to switch everything to handheld.
Yes.
What was dealing with that at the last second? What was that like for you?
So it was. I had a couple really cool shots in my head, which now I can't remember. They were all written. They were not really written down.
Okay.
I think Arthur might have them if he does.
He might.
I had a couple really cool shots, especially with our slider. I wanted some cool motion, some cool, I wanted like stuff coming around the corner, like your cubicle, like to get a glimpse of like you working at your desk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also, the whole last sequence with the quick zooms.
Yes.
That was actually supposed to be on the slider.
Oh, okay.
I wanted it to be.
Oh, interesting.
I wanted it to be a long push.
I see.
And just cut back and forth.
Yeah,
instead
right.
of those quick zooms,
Okay.
which I did homage. That was an homage to a sitcom that will go unnamed.
Okay.
But it was because we had to use the handheld, so I had to switch to that. And it was more of a burden, frankly, on Arthur.
Oh my gosh.
Who had to carry our 11-pound camera or whatever.
So I want to talk about that real quick. Our camera, we use an EX1 right now. It is old. It's a great camera, like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It does what it does, but we added on a depth, as you know, the depth of field adapter to that, which pretty much like doubles the length, and then on top of that, we have to add another lens.
Yeah.
And the EX1,
probably
not a
doubles the weight.
small camera.
It probably comes close to doubling the weight.
Oh, if not more.
Yeah.
And because we had to do this handheld, Arthur, who is just the biggest trooper in the world, cannot give him enough credit. And this is not a short film. If you've seen Heaven Inc., you know this. Like, we had to do pretty long takes.
It was they're long takes, and it was a long day.
Yeah.
It was like from 9:30 when we got to the set by 9:30.
Yeah.
We were set up by like 10:30, and we were filming, and he was pretty much carrying that camera for like
the whole time
till like 5 or whatever.
So he definitely got his workout in.
Yeah. Jesus.
But again, shout out to Arthur. Can't thank you enough. You did a great job.
There are fun behind the scenes shots or shots that we'll probably use if we make a blooper reel. We'll probably use them.
Well, actually,
Arthur like gasping as he's like, "Okay, all right, I got it."
Yeah. We haven't started working on it yet. I think we are going to have plenty for a blooper reel.
Yeah.
So you guys can expect that soon.
If you like bloopers, which I do, I fucking love bloopers.
It's the best thing. I love behind the scenes stuff.
I like them more than I think I usually like film.
The actual films.
Yeah.
I honestly, because whenever I see a film, I love, and this is the filmmaker in me. I love seeing behind the scenes. I love seeing the challenges that people had to deal with on set, which is one of the reasons why I'm so excited that we can do this and talk. For any of you who are out there who are interested in it, like I am, learn what we had to deal with, learn what we learned, perhaps apply it to your own projects.
Don't forget tripod plates.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that, But we will expect a blooper reel, so you can expect gems like this.
Mark.
Coming soon, we're going to edit it all together. It should be funny. I think we really do have some good stuff. So you guys can look forward to that. I touched a little bit on our camera.
Yes.
Our big old bulky EX1. Boy. So EX1s are great.
Yeah.
Cameras.
Let's not. Sony, good company.
Our EX1 has
bit of a lemon.
Some malfunctions. So we'll be on set. It has some battery power issues. So our camera will occasionally shut off in the middle of a take. That's fun. That's a fun thing that it does.
It's pretty bad. It's gotten worse too, I think, as time has gone on.
Yeah. So we are definitely in the market for a new camera.
Yeah. So we can talk about that.
Yeah, we've been discussing a couple options.
So and please chime in if you know cameras, which I'm assuming at least some of you do.
Yeah. Or if you have any experience with like a camera, we'll get to like what we're looking for in a second.
Sure.
But
so we've been looking primarily at Canons. Specifically because we already have a pretty good set of Canon lenses, and so we don't want to switch away from that. We're torn a bit between the C100 and the C300.
Well, so let me add a. We're not really torn because the C300 is obviously a better camera.
Well, yeah, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get the best. Obviously, we're a small company.
Don't have a lot of budget. We
Yet,
make do.
Honda.
Yeah. So C100 now, C100 Mark II. It's not a new camera,
No.
so it's been out for a couple years now. However, what is so great about that camera, what catches our eye, is that it has everything that you would need in one nice little to-go container.
Yeah,
so
it's
got, and we're very run and gun. Shoot, even on Heaven Inc., which I think was close to our biggest crew, maybe a Quench and Time because we had a little bit of help there.
Takeover was our biggest crew.
Was it?
It would have been tied with Quench and Time.
Oh no, that's right. Because Takeover we had no.
Yeah, 1, 2.
We had Nate.
3, 4, 5.
Thanks, Nate. Love you.
And Matt.
Yes.
Don't love you as much.
Yeah. No, he was he there on Takeover?
The whole
he
time.
was. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Oh,
He's literally
sorry,
in
Matt.
the blooper reel.
Yeah, he totally is. Sorry, guys. I'm just adjusting my mic here.
That's your own brother.
Well, so
So Quench and Time we had. So maybe it was Quench and Time.
Yeah.
Technically.
Because we had Nick and Tom
Yeah.
helping out with camera and gaff. Shout out to you guys. So anyway, my point is we don't always have a whole lot of people to
Correct.
to man things. So having onboard audio, having built-in ND filters, having all that stuff, super helpful for our needs. So it is an old camera. It doesn't do 4K, that is the biggest thing that's giving me a hesitation about the C100 is that it does not do 4K. And in today's day and age, that's such a huge thing. I don't think it's necessarily a deal breaker for us.
No.
I think because it's just not. I think we can get by. We don't have clients breathing down our neck saying that they want 4K.
Right.
We can do, and C100 Mark II, it's come down in price significantly. It was actually a little overpriced, I think, when it first came out. It was $8,000.
Yeah, that's no. Compared to what the other prices are.
Right. But now, and we haven't actually talked about this as much. So
Sure.
we have the C100, C300, which is, I think it may be a little out of our budget, as much as I would love to shoot for it.
So a new C300 is 100% out of our budget because it's like $7,000 or something like that. But and there's always a risk with this. We could get a used C300 for just a little bit above a new C100 Mark II.
So I actually haven't told you about this yet.
Oh,
Excuse
okay.
me. I was looking at prices on B&H and Adorama. Their used stuff. I found I think the cameras that you were looking at.
Yeah.
When I looked at their used condition, there were things like the handle missing, the monitor missing.
It said 10
the covers
though.
Missing. Honestly, so 10, that's B&H's rating system, right? Well, we also
that was Adorama's too.
We also have to be careful because the C300 will come with different mounts. So
we need
for
the
lenses,
EF,
we need an EF, exactly. Because I think some of them listed had the PL
Yeah,
mount.
I was looking at the F stuff.
Okay, then maybe we'll have to take a look. But there are another couple options
That we haven't looked at.
That we haven't looked at because C100 is great. It's a dedicated cinema camera, so it's a video camera. It's not a DSLR that has video capabilities, which is awesome because it has everything we would need. But there are options like the Sony A7S Mark II, which I've used before. I used it on that shoot when I went into the city last 2 summers ago. Oh my gosh. Wow. Beautiful camera. Sony camera. That I think there actually is an adapter from the Sony mount to the Canon, so we just need an adapter, which is fine. A7S, 4K, full frame sensor, beautiful camera. Inexpensive for what it is. There's also like the GH5s, which is also 4K. We're actually your camera. So this one, that's a GH4. So if we step up from that, it's an improvement. It's got great quality. As all these cameras, they all have their downsides. So we're still having this discussion. We're still trying to figure out. We don't have an answer yet. We would like to get one relatively soon because of all those problems that the EX1 has.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any advice, any cameras that you use that you think work great, again, a small crew, not a huge budget, but any kind of run and gun stuff, anything that works well for you, let us know.
Please.
Because we're open. We're open to ideas. We haven't bought anything yet. We just purchased. Yeah. Whatever. I'll stick to making films. Let us know, because we'd love to hear from you.
What were we talking about?
There are a lot of tangents.
Tangents are good. I like tangents.
I love tangents. I tend to go off on them too much. I also tend to repeat myself. I've noticed that. Like, I'll be like talking to someone, and for whatever reason, I don't think I will have communicated the point, and then I will repeat
and they're like,
exactly what I just said. And then, if I don't feel like I communicated the point, I'm kidding. That was a joke. That one was on purpose. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. So, Heaven Inc. We're still on problems. I think the final problem is it's too long. I think
100% agree.
I think that in my head it was 5 minutes. On paper it was only like 5.5 pages, so we probably could have been at like 6. But in practice, the amount of like, because we wanted it to be awkward, and because we wanted it to be this kind of like real mundane meeting.
Yeah.
And there's in that kind of thing, there's a lot of like, people check their papers. They say, all right, they stutter.
Yeah.
Because of that, it ended up being closer to like 9, and that's just, it's too long for a short that doesn't move.
Right.
Location.
That's true. I mean, I think it's well written for what it is. It's a very specific type of humor, like you said.
Yeah.
For the medium, especially, we create content for YouTube. YouTube is a very kind of like fast-paced. People always kind of want, the next thing. I think a 9-minute, and we've discussed this. So moving forward, and this isn't going to be the case for all our future films.
Well, I think as long as there was just action, as long as it had something happen, it would have been fine. But the fact that it was primarily, 3 shots,
right,
with a few cutaways,
right. And also, our performances are not strong enough to carry that.
True.
That is a totally acceptable thing with really strong performances, with really strong writing. The writing was good, but we're not like captivating enough. I think we did a good enough job.
Right.
But moving forward, I do think we're going to start to focus more on more condensed,
or at least just quicker
films. Yeah.
Just move it.
And that being said, there will always be a place for, Takeover was our first film.
11 or 12
minutes with credits, so a little shorter. But there's going to be a place for that. We already have a big one coming up called The Heist, which will, be pretty, pretty hefty.
That one, that one will be fun. We've been working on that one. I was thinking, never mind. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. But that actually brings me to a good point that I wanted to talk to you about on this, because one thing that we want to start doing very soon in order to get more content out. We have a couple of ideas on the backlog now that need to be fleshed out. We've been talking about sitting down and doing writing sessions.
Yes. So neither of us have ever done collaborative writing. I was actually, where Mark was a film major, I was a English and literature and philosophy double major in college, because so I did a lot of writing, a lot of writing, but I've never ever sat down and written something at the same time as someone else.
Yeah.
And I think that could be interesting. I'm really excited to do it. Hopefully we're going to do that within the next 2 weeks of this recording.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that it's either going to go one of two ways. It's either going to go, you and I sit there and we just kind of look at each other for a few minutes and we're like,
yeah.
Or we're going to have two different visions from the get-go and try to take it in different places, and we're going to end up with a product that we're not as satisfied with. Yeah. And obviously we could do drafts.
Right.
We should. But but I am a little bit worried about us getting just lost on who, where we're going. Not lost. Confused about where we're going conflict.
Yeah.
Conflicted on it.
That's fair. And I'm interested, I'm very interested myself, actually, because at school, I kind of got my hands on everything. I was able to try every role at least a little bit. And while I was at least competent at everything, I found that my weakness was writing. And I think that's because I get in my head a lot about, like, is it good? Does this read as well to other people as, it reads to me?
Right.
So I'm very curious to see. We also have very different styles.
True. Just taking a look at
what we've done so far.
Takeover versus Heaven Inc.
Exactly. One's not better than the other, but finding that middle ground.
Yeah.
And maybe we won't. Maybe, occasionally while we'll be collaborating, we'll, if you want to direct a film, we'll be like, okay, so we're going to primarily take this as your vision. I'll see what I can do to add improvements, but overall it's going to be yours. Same thing for the reverse. We'll see how it goes. We haven't done this yet. It's going to be new. I think a pro is that it will force us to sit down and start thinking. It's kind of like going to a gym, right? Like you have a friend that will motivate you to go to a gym.
Sure. I can assume.
Yeah. And then, so writing is a similar, so we'll kind of be like encouraging the other one to write. I think that'll help us.
That could work too.
I had a little pop-up on my monitor over here, but it's gone now. Just a little thing in the corner. So I think that'll help us write more. I think it'll help us meet that goal of 6 films at least. Now, keep in mind that was an at least.
Yeah.
At least 6 films. If we can do more, great. I would love to do that. We also know that we are still trying to get into a rhythm.
Yeah, and we're both quite busy.
Right. Well, that's true. Yeah, this is a side thing. So, we all, it's just 2 of us.
All 2 of us.
We have jobs, we have other hobbies and activities outside of making films.
Yeah.
But I do think that'll kind of help us chug things out, because we do have a list of ideas. We have several ideas of things that just need to be completed, fleshed out, written, and all that stuff. If you guys have any experience either writing solo or collaboratively writing, let us know what works for you. Because like I said, we're new to this. We're going to be figuring it out. What works for you may not necessarily work for us, but we would love to give it a try.
Definitely.
And that'd be very helpful. So what do you think, Tim? Is there anything else you want to cover in episode 1 of Around the Last Turn?
I mean, probably not.
What do you most moving forward? What are you most excited for?
I'm looking forward to getting more directing experience. Actually,
okay.
I mean, I am looking forward to collaborative writing. I just said that, so I didn't want to. But apart from that, I am looking to get more directing experience. I'm also looking forward to learning. We're starting at such different levels.
Yeah.
In experience. I'm looking forward to at least getting myself up to where you are ish now, in 3 years. Yeah. I'm also looking forward to getting picked up to direct to Star Wars in 5-6 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
we all?
Prescott and Roan.
Yeah.
Household names eventually.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, they're giving them to anyone.
These are short-term goals. Yeah, short-term. Yeah, of course.
5 years.
Yeah. Give or take.
We'll be not even 30. How about you?
I am looking forward to most growing an audience. And I know that sounds like oh, I want to get well known. That's not necessarily what I mean, because I've created content before. I've uploaded videos to YouTube before, just as a means of hosting them. I'm excited to develop what we do, that community aspect, hearing from people. And honestly, I think as of recording this, we're at 81 subscribers.
Correct.
You guys who have already subscribed have already been commenting and giving us feedback. When we're just starting out, when we're still learning so much, you guys are awesome. And I know we both really appreciate that, because it's great to hear from people. It's great to see that your stuff, your work is being seen and appreciated, especially because we're not doing this for money. We're just doing it for the love of doing it.
Right.
And while we would be making it anyway because we enjoy it, it's nice to see that other people are also experiencing that and seemingly enjoying it. I mean, you may be watching this and be like, oh man, their other short films, they fucking suck. I'll bleep that. But I am very excited to keep that growth going. You know, keep making short films, keep learning. You know, you said you want to be to where I am, but I want to be, you know, I want both of us to be even higher.
Right.
And just seeing where it goes. You know, we're still very young. There's a huge unknown out there, and the unknown is usually super scary for me, but like I'm very excited to kind of see where this moves forward, and kind of keep sharing stuff. I've enjoyed this, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually really like this.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Let us know if you also like this format.
If you hate it, we're still gonna do it.
Yeah. Or actually, more importantly, you know, we kind of started off with topics that we thought might be interesting. If there's something in particular you want us to talk about, whether it's a certain experience that we've had on one of our films, if you want to have our, you know, very professional opinion on something, let us know. We'd love to talk about it. We'd love to hear your ideas. If you've made it this far in the video, let's see, comment, quote, "But how did you train the monkey to kill that man?" So comment that. If you've made it this far in the video, and also thanks for watching this long.
Cool. All right, wrap ups. Check out our friends 3BG, Beat Boys Beat Games. They have their own channel. They do Let's Plays of retro and new video games.
I heard they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're all right. No, they're good. Check them out. They're fun, especially if you like Let's Plays. Also, if you ever want to hit us up and like play some video games, shoot some shit on Steam or anything like that, I'm not going to give you my stuff in this video, but like comment and we can set up a Discord or something like that.
Dope. Guys, thanks again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you like this, and we look forward to hearing from you about other things and stuff.
LTFO! Stay cool.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.